So I've lived in my house for about 3 years now, and as you do, one of the first things I bought when I moved into this house was a vacuum cleaner. So I was cleaning the other day and I was like, hang on a minute, this vacuum cleaner is not cleaning properly. Something's up with it. So I realised that the roller at the bottom had stopped going round, so it just wasn't cleaning properly. So I was like, right, so I've got to buy a new vacuum cleaner. So today I finally got around to it, and I was kind of like, well, what should I buy? Should I buy one of these sort of electrical ones, like the old-fashioned cord, or should I buy one of the cordless battery-powered ones? Because I'd seen those battery-powered ones before, and to be honest, I wasn't that impressed with them. They always seemed like they weren't very powerful, or they didn't clean very well, or the battery life was really bad on them. So I was like, nah, I'm not really sure. Maybe I should get the old-fashioned type. So I nearly bought one of the old-fashioned type actually. I was on the verge of buying it, and then I was like thinking, well, I kind of know what I'm like. I don't really enjoy cleaning. I mean, who enjoys cleaning? But I just don't vacuum enough. So I need something that will try and encourage me to vacuum and make it a bit more fun. So if I have one of these old-fashioned types, I've got like the cord, and they're kind of like quite heavy, and they're just not sort of convenient to use, especially if you're doing the upstairs, you're doing the stairs, and you've always got that cord in the way. So I thought if I get one of those cordless ones, it might make it a bit more convenient to vacuum and encouraging me to do it a little bit more. So I kind of on the last minute I kind of decided to get the cordless one. So I'd never seen these, I'd never really used these cordless ones much before, but the only thing I knew about them was that normally the battery life is really bad on them, and the suction is really bad on them. So I was like, right, so when I choose one, I want to choose one with a higher wattage. So I noticed some of the ones I looked at, they didn't even tell you what wattage they were. So I instantly sort of ruled those ones out. And then I came across this Bush one, which was about in my price range. So I didn't want to spend too much, because this kind of technology, it kind of keeps moving on, and I'll probably want to buy a new one in a year or two anyway. So I didn't want to spend more than about £110 on this. So I came across this one, and it, like I say, it had a higher wattage. So I thought, well, maybe this one the suction will be a bit better on this one. And it also said that the running time was up to 50 minutes as well, which kind of caught my eye, because usually they don't run for, I don't think, for very long, and I thought 50 minutes sounded quite a lot. So yeah, I went for this one, and so I got it home earlier, and I've just been testing it out, and I just wanted to show you guys like my experience with this, and how I think it compares with the old-fashioned type of vacuum cleaner. And so yeah, so here's the Bush cleaner. It's kind of, as you can see, it's about the same size as the old Vax one which I had, but like I said, it's much lighter. This is probably only about 1.5 kilos, or about £3. This is probably about 8 kilos, maybe about 15 pounds. So yes, it's also a lot more kind of maneuverable, obviously because there's no cable on it, which is the obvious reason, but also because like the end of it's a bit smaller as well, which I guess has the disadvantage of not cleaning as much floor at once as you use it, but it kind of makes it more maneuverable. It also, one of the first things I noticed about this was that it has a on-off button on the top. So I know some of the other types of cleaners that I've seen, the other brands, they have this button where you have to hold it down as you use it, and I found that a bit of a pain when I tried that out. I was like, this is kind of annoying having to hold the button down as you use it. So this one has like an on-off switch, which I kind of liked. Was the first thing I noticed about it. And it has really just two buttons there at the top. It's just got the on-off switch, and then it's got the power switch. So it's like the power button. So it kind of selects between sort of low, medium, and high power. So it came fully charged. So I just put it together, which was really easy. It was just literally, it came in like sort of these separate parts. So it had like this part, and then it has like this part, and this comes like that, and then you have the roller end. And also with this one thing I liked about this one before I bought it, one of the reasons I went for this one was it said it had like a motorized roller on it as well. Whereas the problem with this one was when it broke, the roller stopped going round on the bottom. So that's how I realised it was actually broke when I was using it, and I noticed like the roller wasn't going round. So I thought, yeah, if this one's got like a motorised roller, then maybe that will be an improvement in the design, and maybe it will do a better job of cleaning. So that just attaches to there like that, and then that bit goes on the top, and that goes on there. So it's really easy to put together. And then so that was all there was to it. And then you just press that button, that on-off button, and that turns it on. And then that's just like one setting. And then you press that, and then that changes the power setting. So that's like the high power setting. It makes a bit more noise, but it's still reasonably quiet. So it's got like 3 settings that you just switch between. And when I first started using it, the first thing I noticed about it was it kind of glides along like so. Let me show you. So yeah, like as you use it, like it kind of glides along quite nicely. Like some of these cleaners that I've used, they tend to kind of stick. I've not really used many before, but the ones that I have used, I found that they kind of stuck to the carpet as you were pushing it along. This one, I think maybe because this roller is like a motorised roller, it just kind of like quite glides along quite easily. That is on a normal carpet, but when it comes to the rug, which is this like deep pile rug that I've got here, it does get stuck in this. So the only way you can kind of clean that with this is kind of go back with it like that, kind of pull it back. So you can clean, but you have to just kind of do that. So you can't push it forward, but you can still clean with it. And I found like the power of this to be quite good. Even on the lower setting, it's pretty decent. So yeah, I noticed it was cleaning fine straight away when I first got it. And also you can see that it has lights on the front as well, so kind of looks a little bit strange, like kind of cleaning the floor with like a light on the front, like. But I mean, it could be useful if you're hoovering up in a dark room, I guess. And so my first impressions of the cordless vacuum are quite good. I'm pretty glad that I bought this one, because like within the first say room that I've cleaned, I mean that took me about 10 minutes to clean this room, and you can see it collected quite a lot of dust already, so it does actually work. It's more than just a toy like some of the battery powered ones are. So I was glad about that. And yeah, like I say, it's really easy to use, it's really light. It seems quite well designed as well. The dust bottle is here, so you just like attach it like that, and then that comes off like that. Seems like quite easy to take that off, and then you just press the button and just empty it in the bin. So that's pretty small, pretty convenient. and it also has one of those like filter things inside. So the instructions say you've got to, every so often you've got to wash the filter, this filter, and wash the one, also there's like another one here, so that goes back on somehow, like that. And then that, yeah, and then this bit, then you take this bit off as well. So that comes off, and that's got like a filter in there that you've got to wash. So you've got to wash that, and apparently you've got to take that out, take this bit out, and then you've got to actually wash that and leave it for like 24 hours before you put it back in. So it seems fairly easy to do. That doesn't seem like much of a problem. So that seems okay. I don't think I'll mind that too much. This one, you had filters to wash as well on here, but I never really bothered with that. So I don't know whether that contributed to the fact that it stopped working. But yeah, I think you do have these filters to wash. So yeah, the other thing that I quite like about this is that you can take the battery out. So yeah, you can remove the battery, but you can't charge that battery separately, which is kind of I was hoping that you could do that, so you could like, so if you wanted to just charge that battery in like a small place, like a cupboard or somewhere, then you could just charge it really easily. But no, you can't charge that. You have to charge it while it's in the actual unit, which is fine, I guess. You can just take the bottom bit off if you want to charge it somewhere where there's not much room. So yeah, I also noticed on the Argos website that they were saying that they're going to start selling the additional batteries for it as well. So you'll be able to, I'll probably buy another battery and then have a spare one charged, and then what I haven't mentioned so far is what I thought about the battery life on it. Initially, I mean, it seems fairly good. I mean, I think this one favours the power over the battery life. So I think you get up to 10 minutes on the high power setting and up to 50 minutes on the low power setting, which I'm not quite sure how good that is. It's not, I think the high power setting you really need to properly clean, but I think the low power setting is fine if you just want to clean like the kitchen floor or something like that. There's like quite like a hard floor, but if you're doing carpets you probably need the higher power setting. So but I could probably clean this floor in about 10 minutes, so that's probably not too much of a problem. So yeah, I think overall I'm quite glad that I chose the cordless type over another corded type, and I think this is going to really, I think it's really encouraged me to clean more, because it's just more convenient, and also because it's kind of like a tech toy, right? So you know, it's a little bit more fun to use than a normal vacuum cleaner. But that's just me being a geek. The other reason that I'm glad that I chose one of these cordless cleaners over the electrical type is because you can detach this end and you can use it like a handheld cleaner as well. You've got like these different attachments that you can use, and one of the things in my house that never gets cleaned because it's a pain to clean is the skirting boards, like the tops of the skirting boards. And one of the first things I noticed when I got this out of the box was, right, this will be super easy to clean the tops of the skirting boards with. So kind of like what I mean is this kind of thing. So you know, like along here, so like the tops of the skirting boards, they're usually like full of dust. So because they're really proper pain to clean. So yeah, this will make it really easy to clean. So that's handy. So that's kind of handy for that. The other thing that I think will be awesome about having this is that you have this attachment as well, which is like a brush thing. So again, because it's like handheld, it's kind of easy to use. So you can you attach that to it, and because it's got like the brush on it, the other thing in my living room that's always dusty, because again it's a pain to clean, is the TV stand, which is like this thing here. And so it's like this top, the top of this always gets mega dusty, and in here and like on top of the sound bar gets dusty. So this is really handy to clean that. So I just tried it out before, and it actually works really well because it's got this brush on the end, so it won't scratch anything, and you can just use it almost like a kind of duster, like a cross between a kind of duster and a vacuum cleaner, and that just clears away all the dust from here and on the TV, and you can kind of get it in underneath the TV here, and it just works really well. So just get rid of everything, rid of the dust from the top of devices or in there, bottom of the TV, in here, all over that surface. And yeah, it just works well. Just like that. Finally, the other thing to mention is a lot of these types of cleaners, I know they have like a docking station where you can just hang it on the wall and it just charges. This one kind of has that, but it kind of doesn't. So it's got a hook which you can actually attach to the wall, so that goes on the wall, and then you can kind of hang this from here like that, so it kind of hangs from it. So that's like shows with the bracket attached, but it doesn't charge it while it's attached to the wall, so you still have to plug in the charger at the top. So it's kind of like not a fully it's not a docking station, it's just almost like a storage solution. So you just hang it and it kind of keeps it out of the way, and you've got to attach that as the charger. So you also need a plug socket nearby as well to charge it. But I mean, it's not so much of a problem. I think that's okay. I probably won't hang it on the wall anyway, because I'll probably just stick it in the cupboard when I've finished with it. But if you do want to hang it from the cupboard, from the wall, you can do. And yeah, so I think that covers everything that I mean to say about this. Finally, I think the other thing to say is probably that with some of these you can detach the roller from, you can detach the roller and clean it, because I think one of the things that broke with my old cleaner was, I think, cleaning up like long hair from the carpet. It wasn't me actually, it was someone else that broke it, but there's nothing that can be done about that. So they were cleaning with the hoover, and I think they cleaned up like a load of like long hair, and it got like wrapped around the roller, and I think that's why it probably the roller stopped going round. And I think that's what broke it. But it says with this one you can remove the roller, so if it does get like a lot of long hair stuck in it, you can take the roller off and then clean it and get rid of it. So that should stop that happening with this one. Yeah, so that's my experience of my first impressions with this new cordless cleaner, and I think I'm pretty glad that I made the decision to go for the cordless one over the corded one.